Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Gursant Singh here. Yesterday I was browsing the internet and I ran across a very disturbing image and statement by a Yogi Bhajan follower who evidently went on a yatra with this Yogi Amandeep Singh, who's associated with the SikhNet people. And she has stated under this picture that this is an arti ceremony. And she says here at Ganga and Dharma Vows. Now, I think as Sikhs we should really investigate and demand from SikhNet what this is about. It's very disturbing. My immediate thought was something about Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And if these are secret vows that are going on there within the Yogi Bhajan group, Sikhs should definitely know about this. Now, several Sikhs have commented. You can see here on this Facebook page how one Sikh has at least commented that this is not part of Sikhi. Now, the person behind this is this Yogi Amandeep Singh. And I want to share for you some of the images of him performing this arti, so-called arti, at the banks of the Ganga River there in India. Now, Yogi Amandeep Singh has deleted the pictures that show him doing these artis and fire pujas from his social media. And that was started a couple years ago when he started to delete these things, because I started to publish them and his worshipping of Baba Sri Chand. And the only reason I found these were because of a naive and innocent yoga student who was on this yatra there in India. And so she immediately deleted this particular photo of Yogi Amandeep Singh there, doing this arti. So I really think that this should be investigated. Now, I mentioned that Yogi Amandeep Singh is associated with SikhNet. And I want to point out to you a photograph where this Hari Jot Singh, you can see him there just behind Yogi Amandeep Singh in this photograph, is strongly associated with this Yogi Amandeep Singh, this Hari Jot Singh. Now, Hari Jot Singh is the social media director over at SikhNet. And he does a lot of these videos and is involved with the SikhNet philosophy broadcasting on YouTube and this type of thing. So if he's involved with this Yogi Amandeep Singh, and they're starting to do these Sanatana Hindu Dharma vows, Sikhs should really know about this and should really demand that SikhNet come up with some answers about what's really going on there. Now you can see here how Yogi Amandeep Singh is promoted by SikhNet. This is a promotion page for Yogi Amandeep Singh, and it talks about him being a Kundalini yoga instructor and how he preaches all around the world. And this is directly promoted by SikhNet. This is one of their pages there, promotion. And Hari Jot Singh, just so you see here, as I said, is one of the directors over there at SikhNet. He's involved in the social media and also some other creative aspects there over at SikhNet. And again, there's proof there that he's directly associated with this Yogi Amandeep Singh and participated in several of his events and been involved in some of these pujas. Now I'm just going to run through some more photographs that show this Yogi Amandeep Singh and what he's been up to. Here's some pictures of him practicing these pujas, and he is really into this worshipping of Baba Sri Chand. You can see Sri Chand's photographed there in the background. And for all of you who may not know, Sri Chand was the son of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and he completely rejected the Guru. And these Yogi Bhajan people, this Yogi Amandeep Singh, are worshipping this Baba Sri Chand. Now these are events in India where Yogi Amandeep Singh has taken them to India, and you can see some of this worshipping of Baba Sri Chand. Now there's also this Gurmukh Kaur that SikhNet promotes, who does these Hindu pujas and these Sanatana Hindu practices there in India. And SikhNet, you can see here how they promoted her, this Gurmukh Kaur. There's some more of this Sanatana Kaur, who is one of the lead singers over there at the Yogi Bhajan group and at SikhNet, and how she and others participate in these Hindu pujas. Now they write them off and say, the SikhNet people say that these are interreligious gatherings. Well, they're not. They're practicing Hindu ceremonies and practices which are forbidden for Sikhs to practice. And I know I've been talking about this for years, but this has got to stop. And we have to demand that SikhNet stop these things and that they come out against them. Now here's more pictures of Yogi Amandeep Singh with some of his other yogi buddies and these other Sanatana Hindu worshippers and devotees. Here's Yogi Amandeep Singh bowing at this idol of Baba Sri Chand. Here's more of Gurmukh Kaur worshipping. Now Yogi Bhajan started all this with his practice of these Sanatana Hindu practices. You can see him there in this picture, there on the left. They're performing a puja there in Los Angeles at the Yogi Bhajan estate back in the 70s. And then the Yogi Bhajan people take after him and do these Hindu practices. On the right, you can see there how this Gurmukh Kaur had promoted this completely Hindu wedding ceremony with the 3HO people, and they're wearing dastars, and they call themselves Sikhs, but how can they when they're doing these Hindu practices? Now, Yogi Bhajan had Hindu last rites, and this was written up by the Sikh News Network and later become the Sikh Free Press. Anju Kaur wrote an excellent article investigating all this. But SikhNet refuses to admit this, and they, to this day, SikhNet has ignored this. That Yogi Bhajan was given Hindu last rites. Some of his ashes were spread there in the Ganges River. And you can see here in this picture on the right how his family, Yogi Bhajan's family, and many of the 3HO followers went to this Hindu last rites that was performed on the banks of the Ganges River. His ashes were immersed there. And this same Swami who Yogi Bhajan was friendly with all of his life and part of the RSS led this ceremony. Now, I've written this all up on particular pages that I promote. This SikhNet should apologize. You can see here, right from Parmat Nikritan's ashram's website, how they have talked about these this Hindu last rites that Yogi Bhajan was given. And then it was interesting, shortly after we exposed this and exposed this newsletter, Parmat Nikritan took the newsletter down off the internet. But we were able to save it to this Wayback software, and you can view it online. I have links to it. But they admitted that Yogi Bhajan was given these Hindu last rites and his ashes were immersed in the Ganges River. So these are all indications that SikhNet and the Yogi Bhajan followers are participating in these RSS practices, these Sanatana Hindu practices, these are pictures of Yogi Amandeep Singh. There you can see him there performing some rituals there at Yogi Bhajan's death place. Now, Guru Gobind Singh told us not to worship the graves of the dead, but yet they do, and they prostrate themselves there at Yogi Bhajan's death place in Espanola. And SikhNet is well aware of all these things. In fact, SikhNet's offices are just a few yards from where this took place. And again, this Hari Jot Singh is involved with Amandeep Singh and all of these Sanatana Hindu practices. These are more pictures of the Yogi Bhajan people bowing to these Baba Sri Chand idols. There's Gurmukh Kaur doing these Shivlingam practices. More of Yogi Amandeep Singh bowing to these Sri Chand idols. He takes these groups of people to India to worship, and he misleads them completely. So anyway, again, we want to investigate this so-called arti ceremony in Mata, Ganga, and Dharma Vows. Let's demand that SikhNet come up with some answers about what this is about. Obviously, they're trying to hide this. I think that, like I said again, this innocent yoga students posted these things, and now she's taken them down. So there's something being hidden there. And we want to find out if there's maybe some secret ceremonies going on there about these Sanatana Hindu practices. Sikhs should not be doing these things. If they want to do these on their own and they don't want to call themselves Sikhs, that's fine. But Sikhs do not practice these things, and it gives a really bad image for Sikhs. We do not do these things. Thank you for your time. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.